Hello, welcome to another episode of Mama's Cooking Podcast. Y'all already know me. My name is Kenya, and I'm happy to be back, kicking it over to my other co-host.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy K Lofton here, actor from Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm glad to be joining this show.
About
Yeah, welcome
time.
to the first time. I didn't know you was from Jersey City. I thought you just lived there.
Oh, no,
And what's
Jersey
up,
City.
everybody? I'm Qadirah, and I'm from Brooklyn. Second time on the show. Welcome.
Yes, I'm actually happy to be back. I mean, we're missing one person, but don't worry, he'll be here soon. But we have to get into these current events. Like, the biggest one right now, I would say that is talked about right now on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, is obviously everything going on with Johnathan Majors. I don't know where y'all stand on this, or how y'all even felt about him in his career. But yes, that is being talked about in everywhere I look. So I don't know, how do y'all feel about all of this?
Well, I guess tell us what's going on with him.
Well, right now, there's allegedly an assault on his girlfriend. They are saying he did it, and his team is saying that they are going to prove to everybody that he had nothing to absolutely do with this at all. So that's where it's at right now. Him getting caught with this assault charge, well, possible assault charge. So
the lawyer released text messages
Mhm.
claiming that it was going to help exonerate him, but this doesn't help his case at all.
No.
So I'm
But
just
why
going
do
to
y'all
read.
say that? Because like what I'm reading is this is the girlfriend's voice, right?
yes,
Mhm.
And she's saying, I told the cops not to move forward. They don't have my blessing. Something about strangulation. They don't have my blessing. So how is it not helping him?
because it doesn't sound right. Honestly,
No.
it sounds like, to be quite honest, and I'm a alleged all up and through here. It just sounds like a woman who is basically saying, "Baby, I didn't do this. I'm sorry. I told them not to press charges." That's the vibe it's giving. So it's, even if that's not her tone, which it kind of sounds like that's her tone. It's like, "Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you." It just sounds like a woman that was already in an abuse situation, and she's just trying to get her abuser to not be mad at her. So, alleged abuser to not be mad at her. So it doesn't help. It doesn't exonerate nothing. It just sounds like she's hoping he won't be mad, because it's not me. It's not me. It's the officers. Because if they see bruises on you, the state can pick it up. So even if she doesn't want to press charges, the state could take it. So that's where he is right now in this situation. So I just don't see how those messages helped. And if I was him talking to my lawyers, I would have been like, why did y'all even release this? Because it doesn't help him at all, to be honest. It actually makes it seem like he did it, allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, but like in New York, right? If a victim as a witness doesn't want to go through with
They
the
could
charges,
still pick it up.
the DA will pick it up, but at the same time, if they don't have their witness or somebody to testify and say that it happened, because obviously he's going to deny, it's not going to be much of a punishment. So it does help him if she is saying, I told him not to press charges. It does help him in that case, just from experience dealing with the courts. Like, it doesn't help it in our perspective, but if he goes to court and she says, oh, I didn't want it, the cops, over, I guess, blew it out of proportion. The lawyers need somebody to say this happened. And if he said it didn't happen, she says it didn't happen, charges are going to be dropped against him.
Right. And nobody's saying he's going to jail, but it's the damage to your career.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as a black man, you can't, like, there's plenty of white male actors who have allegedly hit their women, but they did not lose their career.
And his girlfriend is what again?
I think she's white.
Mhm.
And that don't look good either.
Yeah.
Like, that don't, you played in one of the blackest films this year, Creed 3, and you want to sit here, and granted, that didn't look good either, that, now you this big black guy looking like you hitting white women. And you just was a boxer. That don't look good. It just don't look, it don't look good for your career. And me personally, was watching his rise from Lovecraft, and then seeing all of these roles he got back to back to back, like, he was hot. And honestly, I feel like he just Columbus shorted himself. Because where's he at now after that abuse alleged thing that he did with his ex-wife? Allegedly.
That's his wife?
No, I'm saying Columbus short.
Oh, okay,
he was hot.
okay. Yeah.
And then that happened. and they killed him off a scandal.
Yeah, but
So-
he still got roles. It's just smaller.
But it's not what
as
he
big.
could have
Yeah.
been. You know, he was on one of the hottest shows. You was on Shondaland.
Mhm.
And your rise was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you as a black man, when you have these type of stigmas to Chris Brown still can't shake what happened with Rihanna.
Right.
Still,
Yeah.
after all of the
They bring it up.
hits, all of this stuff.
But
Anytime
that's
he do a
because
collaboration.
but that's also because he keeps not he keeps having stories on him. I feel like if Chris Brown never had a story about him since then, yeah, he probably wouldn't be able to shake it. But didn't he like hit a fan and all this and all of that? Allegedly, and a lot of other things that they say he's done. So I don't know. I think that messes him up a little bit. But I see what you mean, definitely, because of any bad anything, especially for like a celeb and a black celeb who is an actor in all these movies surrounded by all these other people, upper echelons people. They look down on you, even though they're allegedly doing
the same thing
in the background.
Yeah, allegedly
they're doing it too.
Some of them have alcoholism and all of that stuff,
so-
but unfortunately, it's just the game is not gonna. And I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, you know, because if he did this is trash. You're not supposed to be putting your hands on anybody.
Yeah.
I don't like abuse in any form. I'm not like so, and it's disappointing if he is that type of male. And it's crazy because now the things on Twitter that's coming out about him as a person, people's like, oh, he was a horrible person back in the day, and all of this stuff on Twitter. Now people are coming out the wood. People are coming out the woodworks because all you need is an inch. That's it. Like that's all.
True. Wow.
That's all. Once you fall, you just don't come back up as a black male.
People change though. But me personally, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because he did call the police. So for me, I'm not calling the police if I
did it.
Especially if I'm not and I'm in that position.
Yeah.
But I want to read this comment from one of the texts.
Yes.
It says, I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone.
That don't sound
That
good.
doesn't sound good.
It just doesn't
all.
sound, the messages just don't sound good.
I think he did. Allegedly, but I think he did. Because just because of the entire situation, I think there was some type of violence.
It was, I guess, something. You're
something
saying
happened.
something was going on.
And I'm not gonna say that there was a fight. There was something that happened.
Yes, we have a full show with different types of topics. The next one, go ahead, girl.
Yeah. So did y'all see Swarm on Amazon Prime?
I'm on 2 episodes.
I'm on episode 5.
Okay.
Of Swarm.
Right,
so we could talk about it generally.
All right. Well, shout out to Dominic Fishback because she's a Brooklyn girl. She's from East New York. And I've been like, she was in Judas and the Black Messiah. And
I need to see that movie.
Oh, that movie's so good. You would love. I think that's the reason why what's his name? Daniel something got an Oscar from that movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I never could say his last name. So she played
his wife in that movie. And she's really good at acting. I really love her. I've been following her for a while. But that show, initial thoughts, what do y'all think about it? It's pretty much about like
it's giving
serial
Beyonce.
Killer. Yeah.
It's giving Beyonce obsession.
Yeah, who the girl is? I mean, who the singer is?
Yeah.
They said it was.
It's giving Beyonce obsession. I love.
Yeah, but it's basically about a serial killer who's obsessed with like a major artist, and whoever upsets her about the artist
just
like,
goes.
She just goes off into like a killing rant. So I'll just leave it there because that is the description under the show. No spoilers. So what do y'all think so far about the show?
Sad to say, I think there are people out there like that.
Yeah, yes, there's a church of Beyonce. I keep telling people that, like, nobody, you could Google it.
There's a church?
There's a church. I think there's a Beyonce church. Church of Beyonce. You could Google it. There's a church. There's a church. I swear, Church of Beyonce.
Not a church.
But I think, yeah, you're right. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
No, I believe it's people like that, you know, because you offend somebody, like especially Beyonce.
Beyhive.
You don't agree with her, you know. It's like
poor Keri Hilson still can't shake what she said about Beyonce years ago.
Said something about Beyonce.
She released some like like some diss track years ago.
Wow.
And she still can't. They still, I think, people in bees underneath her captions.
Oh wow.
It's
oh my
ridiculous.
Gosh, it's crazy.
No, what I like about the show is, for once, I'm happy that, not for once, but I'm just happy when us as Black people get different stuff. Like, I love that one, like with Lovecraft. I love that it was like magic and this and that.
Love that.
And I love that with this show, we're just getting a good show without like it's not so stereotypical. And I like that as a Black creative, we're getting new stuff to watch.
Right.
Instead of the usual drug this and slavery that and hood oppression here. You know, it's nice that Swarm is not, it's beautifully written. I love suspenses, and I love that Black people are getting this stuff.
Yeah.
And I like that girl. I didn't know her name, but they cast a great girl to play Crazy, because them looks she be giving.
And the thing is, she said that she was supposed to play Chloe
Bailey's
role first.
Nah.
And then she was like, let me not hold myself back, and she did the main character.
I'm
I
happy
like that.
she did that.
So I love that. I love that she did that. And then also, I think, I agree with you. I love that, like, we're expanding into different genres that is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is that I feel like America already obsesses with murder.
Yeah.
And so, like, seeing more shows like that, it's like, it's interesting to watch, but then the reality that there are people out there like that is what scares me a little bit. Like, damn, like, there are a lot of people out in the world that just be walking around that act just like her.
Yeah.
And that's scary. But
and I like the fact that they touched on, like, how we are as a generation right now. And what I mean by that is, this is the most access you will ever get for your celebrity.
Right.
When you think about it, Nicki Minaj could go on live. You could watch her speak live. You could follow any of your celebrities. You could comment under their stuff. Sometimes you could pay for, like, close friends to be part of your celebrity close friends. Back in the day, you didn't have that. You just had a concert and a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can actually follow your celebrity. And I love that they're showing how that could sometimes not be healthy when you're constantly following your favorite celebrity and what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're wearing, what, you know, things like that. You could honestly think that this is like a real attachment. There was always stalkers for celebrities back in the day, but now I could see how that could grow, and how she just so obsessed with the phone, because you just have to stay in contact with your favorite celebrity.
Yeah.
So I do love that they kind of like took that and like expanded upon the Crazy there.
Yeah.
I
but
like
also
that.
too, she was a foster kid, right? And so she like grew up, she like needed somebody to relate to.
Yeah.
And so I think that was what the artist was for her,
Mhm.
which I feel like is like for a lot of people, like I have an artist that I feel like I relate to the most.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, like that obsession, like I want to be friends with her. Like I have artists who I feel like, dang, like we could be good friends.
We could be besties.
But yeah, I could see how that kind of, it kind of like, especially when you don't have family, I think that was her story. When you don't have anybody else to relate to, that's where you kind of like go off the deep end.
You feel like, this is for me. She's speaking to me.
Yeah.
She wrote this for me. And to use an iconic person like Beyonce, that is one of the biggest artists we have right now. So
I wonder how that makes Beyonce feel. Because I feel like I would watch that and be a little scared.
I feel like she has to know,
Yeah,
and I
she
wouldn't be
knows,
surprised if she did have like a stalker or two, like some bodyguard situation.
A million
A
stalkers.
million. I feel it. Unfortunately, I feel that's their reality. That, you know, you have your fans that are sane and nice to meet you, and they go about their life, but then you have some that are willing to jump on the stage or tackle you down, steal a nail, do all of this stuff.
Before we go on to the next topic, because I don't want to bring up the whole show because y'all didn't watch it yet, but did y'all get to the part where
Well, he's on episode 2, so he didn't get to nothing.
Oh, okay.
I'm on episode 5.
Y'all can go.
All right, so did y'all get to the part where they reference her biting?
Yes, I did. And I love the little, and that's the girl from Love and Basketball. Because then they say allegedly then they say allegedly it was Sanai, that bit Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason for that?
I don't know.
What was the reason?
Yeah. I have no idea why. I don't remember the story, but yeah.
So it was her.
It was her.
Oh, I'm curious to know. I would never think Sanaa would do something like that.
I think she actually said she did it, like allegedly. I think she actually said it on a interview. But yeah,
I would love to know the reason. Somebody got to find the reason.
alcohol, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could
Drugs.
be like
A party.
Drugs, weed.
To bite somebody else, like.
But
to
I don't
use
think it was. It was like a little like.
No, they said it was on the cheek, just like
just
the
like a
show.
little.
Oh, like.
Maybe she meant to like, and then
Yeah.
Maybe did a little extra, and then they all expanded it to she got bit or something like
I
that.
have no idea.
Now,
Yeah.
did y'all see the clip a few weeks ago? Of Michael B. Jordan, he was overseas somewhere, and like these fans were like rushing around him, like trying to get an autograph. So he's with this guy. So he's excited. He's like, oh, this is Michael B. Jordan, blah 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 blah. He want to get a picture with him, but he can't contain himself. So Michael B. Jordan is like, listen, I got you. You want a picture? I got you. I'm a human. I'm a person. He had to stop and say, I'm a person. Like, it's not that big. It's not a big deal. I'm a person.
But yeah,
I think a lot of people forget that celebrities and actors, rappers, we're real people. We're real people. So people they place like actors, like especially like famous ones, they place them like on a higher pedestal.
almost like they're not real.
Yeah, almost like they're not real. Like they don't.
Oh, so you're trying to say maybe she bit her because she's not real?
Oh no, I wasn't talking.
I mean,
I was circling back on the show.
Okay,
I was saying like we put like a lot of people they forget like Beyonce. She's a normal regular person. You wouldn't think that.
Yeah.
You think like, oh, she's like this god. She's this queen.
But also her marketing team makes her out to be a god. So to be honest, this is why I think they picked the right artist to base this on. Because when you think about it, Beyonce is untouchable. She don't give you captions. She barely posts. Jay-Z is a ghost. He don't even have an Instagram. So when you think about celebrities
Which
that
is
are
lovely, how I like them.
Yeah, like when you think about
Instagram.
celebrities that are basically untouchable, who are dang near viewed as a deity, you would think that is Beyonce, especially when she drops an album and it's like, she don't even need marketing. She just drops it because that's how her marketing team built her to be. Like she is this upper echelon. You cannot get near her. So when you are near her, I can understand how some people feel like, is she real?
Right.
Oh wow, it's Beyonce. Like that's a different person. It's not as if you're, you see like, not trying to belittle any celebrity, but if you see somebody like Cameron or whatever like that, they chill, they cool, they vibe. Sometimes you see them on the block, whatever. But Beyonce, it's like you next to somebody. I can see how the air might be a little different around her, especially if you're near her. You can't even take a picture with her. You got to NDA yourself up if you even going to have a conversation with her. So I love that they expanded on how, because they don't really show her from what I've seen so far. It's like they just see her in passing, a music video. It's kind of like how you kind of see Beyonce. Right. You don't hear her talking. She don't do interviews. You just see her do a music video, and then she show up for a party, and you may get a clip of her doing a little two-step, but you don't really see her. So I love that they kind of like kept Beyonce, Nyjah, this mythical thing that she just gets glimpses of, because that's pretty much what the Beyonce is, like a glimpse.
Right. And then the last thing I'll say about the show is I like when writers are able to make it so real that it feels like everyday life. Like I was paying attention to the way they said Nyjah, and everybody says it differently. Somebody says Nyjah, somebody says Nyjah, somebody says, they just pronounce it differently. And that's also just like a small part that's like real to our everyday lives. Like you'll say Beyonce, somebody say Beyonce, I don't know. Beyonce, they'll say it a different way. And so just speaking about the artistry of the show, I think that type of genre and the way they wrote it is really creative, really good writing, really good directing.
Yeah.
Really good show.
I agree. I like it a lot. We could spend all day on this one, but I know we have a lot of other things to discuss.
All right, so y'all hear about the blue check thing that's going around with Instagram?
It started with Twitter first. It always starts on Twitter.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought it was a joke.
Me too.
I just thought it was a joke. I didn't take it serious. What is it again?
All right, so the blue check is, all right, so like back in the day, which is like 10 years ago, so like only like celebrities had that blue check because you had so many people impersonating these people, so we needed a way to know like who's real. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, they would verify these people. Like so their management sending their ID or whatever to make sure that they're real. So now we had Twitter with last year when Elon Musk brought it over. He introduced I think it was $15 a month or $8 a month.
$8, something like that.
$8 a month. You can get that blue check. So this opened up a can of worms. So anybody can get a blue check. So what happened was you have fake accounts.
Now verified. That's terrible.
Yeah, fake accounts now verified. And like on Twitter, you can put your name as whatever. So or you can see like, so say my name is K Lofton, and I'm verified. Somebody else can make another Instagram and they'll say K Lofton. But they have to click, you have to click deeper and to know if that's the real K Lofton or not. So like you have people impersonating celebrities and they was posting these comments and you have like news jumping and like, oh, like he said this, but then to find out it's a fake page. Somebody got that blue check. So Instagram following along in Twitter's steps, they got that, they introduced, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, they introduced the ability for anybody to pay $15 a month, what I think is too much money. $15 a month for that blue check. Even if they're not, and you got normal people, normal day jobs, they verifying themselves, and there's no reason for you to have a check if you're not being impersonated.
And to be clear, this is not the blue verification if you are an influencer. No. This is just to see if you're real. If you're paying a monthly fee to prove that you're real.
Right.
So I'm not real.
And I guess I'm not real either because I'm not. It's never that serious.
I don't want y'all to know me anyway. So I'm really not a real person. Like I'm really not sitting here right now. So like let's keep it that way, okay?
No, but it's like seriously, it's a monthly thing.
It's a monthly thing. $15 a month.
I think it's like $15.99 a month.
What's the 99? What the hell?
That's insane, but
a month. That's more than most streaming services.
But how do brands verify themselves with that? Because
I think brands get verified for free.
Okay.
And like also like major celebrities to get verified for free. It's just the little people who want that edge.
So basically, they want people to pay for Instagram.
They're playing off of people's egos
to try
to try to prove that they're upper echelons or better than somebody else.
But it's not the verification for influencing, though.
No,
it's just
you're a real person.
That's it. So I can even understand the people, I guess, because I mean, let's be real. Some people buy followers. Some people buy likes. Some people buy all of the bots and all of that stuff, and you could tell. I don't know why, but so I get if people bought a monthly fee to try to see if they were a blue check person to be an influencer. But this is just you're real.
Yeah,
it's like a dating app.
Yeah, it's whack to me. They should just take people IDs and verify that way instead of making people pay.
Making people
Yeah, because then that case, people who are real don't want to pay to verify, right? They got other things to pay for. And getting rid of the bots is important. Like Instagram bots are annoying. I'm seeing a lot of sex things pop up on my story. Like I'm like,
liking your story.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
It's like Instagram. Please don't turn into Twitter because Twitter is a very nasty place.
It is now.
It is a very nasty place. I did not think. My thing is my Twitter is damn near dead because I have not been on Twitter for real, but since 2014 to be tweeting like that. I mean, I do put up like my videos, but I don't really tweet. But I took a scroll. I've never seen so many nasty things.
Yeah, you gotta mute
Twitter
words.
Get like this?
You gotta mute words and mute hashtags.
When did it get like this?
What did you heard of Tumblr?
Yeah,
I remember Tumblr.
So Tumblr was off the hook.
Yeah.
So I think Twitter brought them or something. So they shut Tumblr. Well, Tumblr, they took down all the porn content, the nasty content, and that moved over to Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It moved over to Twitter.
And now Twitter, I think I was watching this, and I know I don't want to veer too far. I was watching this documentary about Pornhub on Netflix. And I know they're going through like a bunch of lawsuits because there was some child porn that people were able to put up there. And I think they were saying that there's child pornography on Twitter now. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a lot of nastiness.
That's disgusting.
And now you're saying these same people who are putting up a lot of this stuff could be verified.
can be verified.
just paying $15 a month.
Yeah, that's why I say it's a mess. It's and this is why I have a 3-hour limit for social media on my phone.
I like
like
that.
that.
And I do not use it. Once that thing taught me it's done, I do not use it.
So what do
for the
you
rest of the
do?
day.
You put a timer?
Yeah, on your phone, you just go, you put app limits. So I put 3 hours for the day. And usually I get up early in the morning. I'm on Twitter from like 7 to 10. After that, I don't get back in Instagram and everything. I don't get back on because I just feel like they're trying to kill us in a mentally.
I can see that.
And I just don't want to be
can see-
caught victim to that whole entire thing. Because that's disgusting. Like, porn shouldn't even be allowed on these social websites, if you ask me, like, at all. So it's just,
So, all right, y'all ready? So for this topic, I'm actually happy you're here. I feel like I gave Howard and G a run for their money the last
You
time.
sure did.
So I think all males need to just be initiated with a hard topic. So the topic of the day is obviously put a ring on it. We're talking about marriage.
Marriage?
I'm sorry you're the only guy. But you better represent. So we're talking about marriage, and basically the thing I want to specifically focus on is like the views of it. Basically, men not seeing. Do you believe we're in a world where men are no longer seeing the value of marriage, or do you think that's just not the case? Do you think the value of marriage is still? Do you think marriage is still as valuable as it once was?
To the younger generation, no, I don't think so. To the older generation, yes.
Mm.
You know.
What do you consider older generation?
Are
we old now?
Not yet.
Oh, I just want to know what's he trying to say. But go ahead.
I'm saying like people born in the 70s, before that, around that time, because now it seems like you see somebody get married and then like a year later they're like divorced. I mean, it doesn't always happen that way, but I think like sometimes people, they marry someone and then it's like, once you marry them, you really find out who that person is, so I don't think,
Yeah.
I think, and I don't see it, like personally, I don't see a lot of like young people like us getting married.
Right.
You have some here and there, but like, I be thinking like some people, they're just not too faithful, So
I have a question for you. Do you think marriage is about love or business?
it should be love.
I think it could be both.
I mean, all right, so whereas as a business, somebody recently asked me to marry someone from the Dominican Republic. 'cause they need
Ooh,
their
for
green card.
papers.
So that's business.
Yeah.
That's business. And that happens more than we like to think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of cases.
That happens more than we like to think. But like, it's like most people, they're losing like what love is. Like, you have your grandparents, you look at that type of love that they have, like, if your grandparents are married or whatever, you don't find that much anymore. And if you do, it's rare, But I think marriage is basically love. But yes, you do have some people who's transactional. So be like, oh, I'm going to marry this person because they got a good family, they got money. So if we get divorced, I'm taken care of, So I think that people definitely look at it like that.
That's a good point, because what about men not wanting to lose half of what he owns in divorce?
I know you're gonna go ahead. You speak on it.
I want to hear.
No, because I feel when that whole men losing half things and all that, I think sometimes some men be speaking above their pay grade.
Right.
And it's like, let's be real here.
Right.
A lot of y'all be sitting here thinking y'all some millionaires. It's like what most people just get divorced and get divorced. The average person, like, you might have a house, and that might be a loss. But the average person probably has, if they have a property. Things are expensive, and it's not really all the time you're going to marry somebody that's making over so much money, that
uh-huh.
you're going to lose half. So when men start saying that as the excuse, I need to ask, how much do you make, men?
Right.
Because at that, like, you shouldn't be speaking on that if you're making anything less than maybe
I'm making
$200K.
$20,000.
If you're making less than $200K, then I don't think you really got much to worry about in this divorce,
right,
other than child support,
Mhm.
which you're gonna be on anyway, whether we're married or not. Like, you know, so I don't know. That's just me. I didn't want to like steal that.
no, you're good because
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people base it on,
Right.
Like, you know, like Kanye West and
Yeah, but he's Kanye.
right. So they
And if you're a billionaire,
they're both billionaires, and
Like,
people on the internet complaining about the amount of money that he has to pay in child
but
support.
what is he paying? Wait, isn't he paying like what, 50K?
No.
50, what is it, 100K?
200 a
Yes,
month.
but
Do you know where them kids?
It's each kid.
It's each kid?
Each kid is 50K. So
Okay. Oh,
It's
okay.
200. So that's a deal.
That's
a
right.
deal.
exactly.
200K for 4 children who go to private school.
Private
Anything
school.
that's probably just like transportation, private school tuition. Because
Probably
that's
some
not
security.
hitting him over the head.
Right.
That's because she got her own money. I think like 50K for those rich ass kids and them
That's
chefs. I think you got a deal. Like 4 for 50K each.
Right.
I think for
Mhm.
her, she could have went harder.
She could have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
She
I
could have
think
got
that-
more. She could have got more. 500K or something, $1 million if she wanted to. You are a billionaire. But I don't know. Me personally, when it comes to marriage, I feel it's not wrong with saying it can be both. Because like what you just said, if I was to get married, I want to get married to a guy that do have a good family, that does have good business sense,
Mhm.
and that can take care of home if God forbid I lose a job. So yes, I'm going to think business wise, but I'm going to love you. You know, there's going to be love there, but I'm not about to just marry strictly for love if you ain't got nothing. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, quick. So do you think, because a lot of people were saying, like in the beginning, Jay-Z and Beyonce's, that was a business marriage.
Mhm.
I could see that.
Mhm.
I could see that because they both benefited.
From what I'm learning from older people is like you marry somebody who is decent and you fall in love with them over time. Like,
Okay.
Oh, that's an old school way.
yeah, that's what I was like advised. But I don't know if I necessarily could agree with that because I feel like that's just hard to do. What if you never get there? And then
Yeah.
it's like you got these permanent papers with this person. That's hard to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't marry nobody that I already don't like have fluttering heart feelings
Yeah.
for.
And you
Yeah.
just tolerate
And
them.
I don't want to tolerate my
That's
man.
what my ex, his parents told me. They was like, as long as you guys can communicate and tolerate each other, y'all good. I was like,
Nah,
oh,
that ain't
hell
gonna
no, take
work
me out of
out.
this. I don't want this.
I don't know. I feel marriage. I think marriage lost its value because I think the standards of people dropped.
Right.
I think there is still places for marriage if people feel like they deserve it. If you feel like you deserve marriage or you feel like you deserve a certain lifestyle, you will work for it, right? You'll try to get it, you know? And I think sometimes I hear with women, they'll try to like downplay marriage because they don't think it's going to happen for
Right,
them.
yeah.
And I
it's
hate
like
that
an
talk.
insecurity. Yeah.
I hate that talk. So it's like you'll sit there and shack up with this man, cook for this man, have babies with this man, but you not demanding no ring. That don't make no sense. That don't make any sense. I feel you're giving him everything and he's giving you nothing. And I just think as women, we got to raise those standards back up because I think men raise to the standards we hold for ourselves. And if there's girls willing to give y'all something lower, easier, sometimes men, I'm no tea, no shade, y'all will go with easy versus the one who's keeping up the standard. But yeah, no, I don't agree with that. Like a girl doing all of the wife stuff, but you have nothing in your name if this man dies. Absolutely nothing. And that's why I think I do look at it as a business because if my man really loves me, he will want to protect me in the event of something happening to him where nobody could dispute where anything goes because I'm
Right,
your
right,
wife.
Right.
Yeah. And then I think also just with the amount of sicknesses Black people go through, like you got to have somebody there at the hospital. They're going to be like, do you have a wife? Do you have a husband? Not a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
They never,
So,
they
like,
don't care about boyfriend, girlfriend.
And it's like, okay, so if no wife, no husband, where's your mom, dad, or kids?
Next of kin. Mhm.
Next
That's
of
it.
kin.
So it's like, I think in that, like marriage is important. I don't know if it's, not necessarily not desired as much. I think people do desire it. I just think we don't know how to connect enough to like get to that point.
Like he was talking about with the love.
Yeah. I think we're just like in a space of like, I don't know how to get to marriage, but I think we all really truly desire it. I think honestly, I think men kind of desire marriage just as much as women. I just think that it's.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that true? No, like, so for you?
For me, honestly, when I was younger, I thought I would be married at this time.
Mhm.
Marry, have a couple of kids.
We all
you
thought
know,
something.
we
I thought
all-
25 I would have kids and be married. Hell no.
Yeah, so for me, I think maybe, hopefully one day, you know, it'll probably be in my 40s.
Do you see a benefit in it?
Having somebody who's down for you, like 100%, like having that extra rock. Because sometimes, you know, when you're single, like I'm single right now, you know, so it's just me. It's me working through all my problems and stuff. I would like to have somebody that's like close, and you know, they can work with me with my problems, and I can work with them with their problems, you know.
You want that ride or die.
Yeah, the ride or die, you know.
You want that person to come home to. Why we can't say these words? And that's the thing. You talking about, like, I think when it comes to love being missing, we're not expressing ourselves anymore. What happened to that? R&B music used to have us saying, "Don't leave me, girl," and all that stuff. And it's like, we're not geeking about our partners anymore. That needs to start before we talk about marriage. So that's what you want to say.
Yeah.
I want somebody home. I want to hug somebody every day.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I'm thinking we got to start saying these words, you know? And I think that even with women, we got to start saying what we really want instead of just sitting here I'm good. No, we not good. Some of us want a partner.
Yeah.
Now, as women, have y'all fell into that Cinderella type of love? Like, you think like, you know, I'm going to find that Prince Charming or whatever, instead of having somebody who's like battered or broken down.
I don't want a battered or broken down man.
Wait,
hold on.
Not
a battered broken down. Let me rephrase that.
I don't want a battered or broken man. I don't want any of that. What are you
All right, so
saying?
I'm saying like a man who has like insecurities. He's been through things, you know. So you gotta. It's like a fixer upper. Like
I don't want a fixer upper. I don't want a fixer
You're
upper.
asking a lot.
I'm sorry.
That's the Cinderella thing. Like you want somebody to be.
I am actively. I tell people all the time. I go to therapy once a week. I work on my problems. Do I have insecurities? Whatever. Of course I do. But they're never going to be my partner's problem. We could talk about it. You know, talk about therapy. But I feel like there's a difference. You know, people going to have their problems. Don't use it as I gotta get myself together. You know, you're supposed to have my back. I don't got to have your back. You're grown, especially me. I'm 31. Any guy I'm dating, I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna be in their 30s. I don't have time to be raising you when I was peaceful in my apartment by my damn self. So it's like, no, we could, if you're actively working on you, then I could be part of that ride. But if you're not working on you and you're making that my responsibility to fix you, absolutely not. And I think as Black women, we don't need to keep that going. We don't need to keep that going a lot. Hold your man down.
Right.
I will hold you down in a healthy way, not in this toxic mess. So no, I feel we're speaking on that more than we did in the past. Because before we used to always, in a way, kind of want to shelter our men and be like, I got him, but who got me?
Right.
If you can't get yourself, you ain't gonna have me, and that's not cool. And once again, it goes back to the standard of things. Like, I'm a little old school. I know sometimes I speak, and I know sometimes some girls roll their eyes at me because I'm like, I don't want to have children unless I'm married, and that's what I want to do. If a man wants me to push out a baby and possibly die on a hospital table, you would have to pledge your life to me. I'm sorry. That's the easiest way to transfer. I think that's what makes it 50-50.
Right.
You're on that knee. You propose to me. You are telling me you want me to be your wife before there's even a kid involved. That means you love me as a person. And I'm going to commit to you. And that means we're already made the commitment up and downs. I could have a baby than that. I just can't. I don't want to have a child. And I'm just a girlfriend.
Right.
Mentally, there's other women. I commend everybody who can. Me personally, that would blow my ego. Like, it would just take me down to know that I'm I didn't do that.
Going back to what you just said, you know, like, so y'all not married, but like once you have a kid, you become that baby mama. So it's like a step up, but then like,
Is it a step up?
it's a step up from it's a step up from girlfriend, just a little
But
bit.
I feel like men
like,
leave
it's
their baby
not-
mamas all the time.
Right,
Like,
so they just think it's their baby
sometimes.
mama.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that saying like you have a marriage first, you know, it's us.
And this is no
first.
judgment. Like, this
Mhm.
is me. I always say this is Kenya's way of
Mhm.
thinking. I have so many friends who have children, and I'm not saying what they did was wrong.
Mhm.
I don't think there's no wrong or right. I just think everybody has their own
Their own
path and how they
preference.
want to live their life.
Right.
And and like I said, I commend single mothers. It's a hard job.
It is.
It's a hard job. I commend y'all. And I commend even a woman going through that. But me, I need to know my man locked in with me.
Right.
And then I could go through that. I feel stronger that way.
You're right. And single mothers, they don't get enough credit. Like, for real.
They
like,
don't.
they don't.
No, they don't. And I think a lot of times the reason why single mothers don't get credit, and this is, I mean, I'm probably going to catch shit. I think a lot of times single women don't get credit because you gave him that without him even committing to you fully. Like, you know, I just think there's some power in having a certain set of, you want to air, because that's what it was back in the day. You want to air, these two unions must be wed.
Right.
I'm not about to give a male an heir if you are not putting a ring on my finger to say you want me to be part of that kingdom. You know, that's just me and my view. I already know I'm probably going to catch shit on this anyway.
Nah, you good.
I already know I'm going to catch shit on this anyway, but that's just me personally. I think a lot of times single mothers don't get credit because you should, like, we as people need to hold ourselves, especially Black couples, Black love, how we were. We need to bring that back. So I think marriage, I still would value it. But
Right.
I don't know, as a male.
Like, as I'm saying, like one day, hopefully in one day. Right now I'm engaged.
You are?
What?
Yes.
Wait,
Why
what?
did you say he was single? I'm confused.
Yes, I'm single. But right now I've been dating this thing called SAG-AFTRA, you know?
Oh.
So 2 years
God.
ago.
I'm like, wait. I'm so confused.
2 years ago I got
Okay.
engaged.
Oh, God.
And I'm hoping next year we're gonna get married. You know, got paid that $3,000 fee.
I'm so
So,
sick of you.
For the next 7 years, I'm 34
I'm
right
like,
now.
what? You
So-
engaged?
So the next 7 years, I want to be in that SAG, but hopefully, like when I get in my 40s, you know, hopefully sooner, you know, because I want to have kids, and I don't want to be one of them old dads
We
at
gotta
40
let that go.
and stuff like that.
You'll be fine. You don't
But-
even look old. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's why I identify as a 25-year-old.
This identify. I can't.
But let us know in the comments what you think about that marriage thing, you know?
So being on the topic of marriage and things like that, I think it's a good segue to go into like how we are dating in today's world. So when you was mentioning the loss of love, combined with our need for social media and all of this stuff, where do you think dating apps play in this versus the real world? Are y'all on them?
No.
You're not on none?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You're the only. Wait, are you?
I was on Tinder and Plenty of Fish, but I
You
can
never was on
find
a single
anything
dating
on
app.
there.
I tried Hinge and I deleted it.
Yeah, me neither. It's
Hinge
not-
is cool though. Hinge is nice.
I like
I think
Hinge.
it's like the best one out because I've tried to download some and I stayed on that one the longest, but delete it.
Because it's not that many creeps on Hinge.
No, Hinge, you have to verify yourself.
Yes, you
Is
do.
that, you got to connect with Facebook or what?
No, you have to send your ID in.
Oh, okay.
Well, you don't have to, but if you do it, you get a verified check
That's your
and then
real.
you get seen with more people. So I think that's why I was like, I like it, but delete it.
A verified check for free?
Yeah, for
Yes,
free.
for free.
No, I would never pay for
For
an app.
free. We're not paying for no
Listen,
dating
a
app.
verified check for
This ain't
free.
eHarmony.
Yeah, right.
Listen.
eHarmony.
I'm not pay-
Or Match.com.
But I did hear that one works. If you pay for it, I heard it works.
Mm-mm.
So, like, how do you think dating apps play into, like, do you think it helps us expand our circle, or are we
I
keeping
was
it
just
No.
talking about this with my uncle, but no, I don't think so. I feel like it kind of like, all right, so you go on a dating app, you see their age, you see where they're from, you see what they like, you just know so much. So it's like it limits my ability to get to know you.
Mhm.
It's like I already know, like, and I'm I'm like FBI. Like I'm gonna dig deeper than the profile. I'm going to Google you.
Going to Google you. The
I'm going
city
to
and
see
state.
what are you into. I'm gonna go on your Instagram. I'm gonna see what you posted before, and I'm gonna make up my mind about you before that first date. So that's why I feel like dating apps kind of like hinder the mystery behind the person.
I could see that.
To
I
me,
did
like,
not think of that.
To me, dating apps these days, like, it's mostly hookups. That's what people.
But Hinge is not
men
like
are
that. I'll
looking
say
for
that.
hookups.
Hinge
It's
is
their
not-
marketing because
Yeah.
they market it, and I think that's why Hinge is better. Is because their marketing is about use us and then delete us.
Mhm.
So people who are going on there are pretty much fed up, and we want relationships. So
yeah.
I could say I had better dates on Hinge.
Yeah. Oh, you've actually gone on dates. I've
Oh, I've-
actually never been on a date on Hinge.
Actually, I'm dating someone now, and I met him on Hinge. So, and it's been a few months. So yeah, Hinge to me, I had good experiences on Hinge. But I see what you mean about how you already know a lot about a person before you even meet them. And then you kind of judging them off that snapshot of a picture. And some men don't know how to take good pictures. So you could probably be cute, but you just didn't get the angle.
Mhm.
And now I'm swiping left, or is it left? The X.
I don't even know. I think you just press X.
X. You know, I'm
But
just
the crazy thing is, like, some guy on Hinge, he put like, "Don't date me if you don't like dogs." Okay, but like I could have found that out in person.
And maybe you might have liked him.
He probably would have liked me too, right?
Yeah.
Not liking animals. So it's like that's why I feel like it kind of messes
yeah.
up the chemistry that you could naturally get. But like I don't like animals at all. So like, okay, X. But he was fine. Like so-
Maybe if he didn't say that, you probably would have went on a date and maybe made a exception.
yeah, but
You
like
never
he
know.
had mad dogs in his pictures. Like we're not doing
Yeah, that's
this.
crazy.
Yeah, we're not doing this. Like I'm not gonna be scared to be around you and your dogs. No.
How was it for men
For men, as for
on the apps?
For me, I can't speak personally because I never dated nobody from.
You never been on a single date from nobody from a dating app?
No.
I'm the only veteran up in here.
And that's a success story, right?
Yeah. No, I mean,
But I feel like more people are meeting on apps. My sister, her boyfriend's from an app. And I mean, even Instagram, like that's dating
Technically,
app.
yeah.
Instagram's
That's a
different.
dating app.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a dating
Instagram's
app.
a dating app. It is. That's your whole resume.
That's your
It
date. You got
has-
your name. You got your pictures.
got
you
all
got
the
a
angles,
link.
got everything.
You got
Instagram
reels,
could be
videos.
dang near a dating app.
That's a dating app.
I think I met my ex on Facebook. So
That's
yeah,
a dating app.
social media. So I guess we could lump those in as technical dating apps if we wanted to.
Yeah, I guess because you know with Instagram, you want somebody to know that you're
Like
interested, you like their stories, and you go all the way down to 200
Like-
weeks, and you like that
Not
last
200
picture.
weeks.
200 weeks, you like that last
You
picture.
like everything.
I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm interested.
And then now you got the likes on the Instagram stories. So they like.
Oh my God, they just be lighting you up with hearts and stuff. But I
That's the
feel like
secret.
that's our perspective as women and
Yeah.
our perspective as pretty women. I don't know if it's as easy for men. Because I remember one time I was comparing this guy I was on a date with not too long ago. And he was like, how many people you have in your queue on Hinge versus him? I had like 50.
There's a
And he
queue?
had like, it's like, like people who are interested in
Ah.
you that want to match with you.
Y'all can see that?
You can
Yes.
see probably the first person and the rest is
You
blurred.
gotta pay to see everybody else, but you can see them one
Yeah.
by one. You can just see how many people liked who's interested in you.
And you can see the amount. So I think I had like 50 or something, and he only had 5.
But how you
But he's
narrow
a-
that down? Like,
And that's the thing,
just
which you
gotta
just
yeah.
and then when you start, so with me on Hinge, I used to just limit it to like I'll just look at 5 pages because anything after that it's a blur. So I want to give people I want to give them the right amount of time to look at them and their profile. But it's like, yeah, it becomes a job. And I see what you mean. You ask after a while, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I just deleted it because I'm like, how many exes am I gonna give? Like, I might as well just get off of this. So yeah.
Yeah, but as a man, I realized like women aren't the ones that will go liking your profile. We'll wait to get liked. And then we'll
I
try
don't
to
know.
match.
I feel like I'm a little bit more aggressive. If I like somebody, I'm gonna tell
You
them.
gonna tap it?
No, I'm
You
gonna
gonna double
tell them.
tap?
we
you
don't
gonna
have that
tell
anymore.
okay.
We don't have much of that
Yeah, but I'm
anymore.
saying we don't have that though.
No,
Like,
we don't
I'ma tell
have the
them, yeah.
coming up to people and saying, hey,
Hey.
I like you. I haven't been pulled up on in a while.
Me either.
And I miss that. I sometimes miss that being in a club. Like, and you know what? And where's that in men? Where's that?
That's what I'm saying. That app gives, that's the pull up. That's what I don't like. Like, no, be a man, address me in person. And like, I want all the nervousness. I want all of that. I don't
miss
want
it.
the Hinge and
I
hey, how you
missed
doing?
it. I missed the game.
Yeah, the game. Like, I don't want
missed
the
it.
texting. It's just,
I met a girl once a few years ago. I was in went to T-Mobile store to do something, and after I was done, I went to my car. She came out and she gave me her number.
See, that's what I like.
She gave me her number.
right.
Yes. So I didn't really pursue how I should have, but I hit her up and I said something. I said let's I said when we gonna chill or whatever. And then she was like, no, you gotta ask me on a date. Like,
Yep, ain't no chill.
Chill.
I mean, look, I'm not saying like the Netflix and chill. I'm just saying, when
But
we
now
gonna,
you used the wrong word.
Yeah.
When am I gonna take you
I
on a
used the wrong
date?
word. Yeah. She was like, oh, you gotta ask me on a date.
Right.
So it turned me off a little bit because it was a little different, like what the wording was, but we don't have that. I guess it's hard for like people to be honest, like straight up, like what you want from the door.
Say what you want. Like we was talking about with marriage and stuff. Say what you want. Like, so you was trying to be cool and you said chill. That could have blew it for you.
Yeah, that could have blew it for you.
You could have sat there and said, I want to take you on a date. What happened to these words?
Right.
That's
Beautiful
so
girl, it's just that, I was just like, whatever.
I do miss the pull up. I miss before social media. And I think when social media became on your phone, I kind of miss when it was like a computer thing, like MySpace. You had to make
MySpace,
AOL, and you wish you
Yes.
would be present with
You gotta
people.
go to the computer.
You had to go through it, but I did like it not being so accessible. And then I think when Instagram added stories, now we really all in our phone. Before we used to have to take our pictures before we got sweaty at the club, and then we'll post them when we got home. But you was present at the party. Now everybody's just going like this, and then like you said, the dating apps come into play. There's a beautiful girl in front of you. You're not making a move anymore. You just gonna go on your
People
dating
come
app.
up to me, they be like, "You got Instagram? Are you serious? I have a phone."
I done that once.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I don't give out my number. I'd rather give out the gram.
That's the new thing.
I'd rather
Like, you
give
got an
out the
Instagram?
gram.
That's the new thing.
I have a phone. Like, we are grown. If I don't want to text you, then I don't have to. I can block your number.
I just don't want nobody to have it until I know you're not crazy.
But
I had a
that's why
bad experience.
That's why I sent for my email. But like, that's why I take the number and I send for my email
Oh,
until I
okay.
want to actually talk to you.
Yeah.
But like, but my thing is like, it's too much. Do you have an Instagram? And then you get the Instagram and it stops there. Like, now I have a
It's
stranger.
because we looked through the pictures.
Yeah, right. And now I have a stranger on my Instagram that I met at a club. Like, I don't know.
But you can now go on and you can restrict them, so they can't, if they leave any comments or whatever, or you can block them from viewing your stories. So these are ways around it.
And it do suck, right? Like you meet somebody and they be like, let's get Instagram. Like I'm looking at you in person, but let me go see what you about on your gram.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
It's a background
We
check.
really gotta be like, let me go look and see what his picture's looking like. Oh, he needs
Like, I
I think
guy,
I could deal with that a little bit.
He had
even though he's in
bunch
front of you.
He had a bunch of pictures with white girls. And I was like,
what's this?
I already know.
Mhm,
I already
mhm.
know what I'm dealing with. Like, mad white people on his page. Like, okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Alright. But like he just had white friends.
All of them were white. Every last person on his page.
So he was the Oreo.
He was the Oreo.
Okay.
And I was like, yep, I already know this is a dub. This is not. But that's the thing. Like, what if it wasn't a dub? Like, what if I'm just
What
assuming?
if you liked him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
Or what if that would have opened you up to maybe some friends with a yacht? White people always got yachts. They always have a friend with a yacht.
I'm too revolutionary.
I don't know.
I don't want to deal with
You might would have been like, you've been like, yo, okay, wait, that one friend that has a yacht or a house in the Poconos or something. I don't mind some white people.
Yeah, because you maybe one day y'all hanging out and he got his white friends around and they're not like.
You gotta stop saying it like.
I'm
got
sorry.
white friends around.
Yeah. No.
Sounds like
I'm
Get
sorry.
Out. Sounds like Get Out.
No,
Yeah,
I did it too.
I'm sorry.
That sounds scary.
Listen,
Crime scene.
no. What I'm saying is like sometimes like white people, or you don't even have to be white. Other than black, they don't get certain things.
Yeah,
or they might see
joke.
something on the media. I mean, in the news and the media, or in mainstream, and they go around and say, "Oh, what's up, my nigga?" Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the part. That's the part of dating apps that I don't like, or like just so much heavily social media. Because then it's like I assume so much, and
Just
I
off of
overthink.
everything.
Yeah, and I overthink, and then now I'm like the attractiveness goes away. because I already assumed so much about a person from their Instagram that may not be true. Like,
yeah, may not
And
be.
that's good because everybody lives a different life on the gram. And like that's honestly real.
Right,
That's
right.
real. Because you never know. That person could just be presenting what their followers like them to do. But that doesn't mean that they're this particular person at all.
And I'm not gonna lie, when I meet men who be like, I don't got a gram, I don't know, that kind of like
That's weird.
It's weird, but it's kind of like, all right, now
What
it's a
you
mystery.
hiding?
Now it's
What-
like,
what
so
you
what
hiding?
you do? What you
But
do
it
every
is a
day?
little weird though. Like, yes, it is a good mystery, but it's sad it's no longer considered. Well, for me, it's sad that that's not a mystery. It's kind of like concerning. A person
Really?
without a person without social media, it's a little concerning. Just a tad. It's like why? But I get it. But I'm like, but why?
I feel like it kind of makes me feel like, okay, so what do you do in
do?
your spare time?
That's great. What do you do?
But my point is like, it makes me more interested.
Yeah.
When a man says he doesn't, like, okay, so what you do? Like, what do you
But
do?
that's how embedded social media is.
it
Where
was
if
like-
you like, it's weird sometimes when you come across somebody who just don't have anything. It's almost like, how did you step out the matrix? Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
I would love to do that, but I can't now. I gotta admit, it's part of your life.
Now I know people who do not have social media, and they're more, and they don't watch TV either.
Yeah, I have.
They're more into books, reading,
Mhm.
learning.
Oh, the prehistoric times.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm dead. I'm
But
screaming.
they're more in tune with themselves.
No,
you know?
I love
'Cause
it.
this
Yeah.
is a lot of garbage.
It is.
This is a lot, especially for kids. Why are we
Oh
letting
my
5-year-olds on
God.
Instagram?
Yeah.
And
It's
Kanye,
facts.
everybody
Or
thought Kanye
TikTok.
was crazy when he was saying how he did. I mean, he said a lot of crazy shit. But the one thing I did get with was when he didn't want his daughter on TikTok. And I understand because honestly, I see it all the time working in school. These kids are so lost on Instagram. Why do you have an Instagram
Right.
and you're only in the 4th grade?
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. These kids are not ready to understand what they're seeing at all.
Mhm.
And they're seeing a lot a lot of fake news. They can't even decide which one's fake news.
But it's
Um,
real.
Some of the kids in my school are quoting Andrew Tate. Why do you know about Andrew Tate? You're in the 4th grade. But that's neither here nor there. But it's just like social media and like with all of these screens, and that's why I love the show Black Mirror. With all of these screens, it's kind of keeping us from being connecting.
Right.
And like kind of the point you made, which I didn't think about, is there's no mystery in us anymore.
Yeah, I think
there's
it's
no mystery.
Yeah, it's. I'll give you an example. There was this guy that I liked. I found him on Hinge, right? Found his Instagram, started looking through his pictures, and I was able to see that his mom and my dad passed away in the same year.
Oh.
So it's like now I can't even like if we were to ever go on a date, it's like I can't. Like if you be like, yeah, my mom, it's like I know, like it's
You
hard.
didn't get the reveal.
You gotta pretend like you
it's like I
didn't know
gotta
that information.
pretend. It's like, ugh, like
Oh.
that's the part that I hate. So I'm like, damn, I wish I would have never saw that. Like, I wish I would have never saw that.
And maybe that could have been y'all moment.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you could have shared.
But
that.
now it's like, ugh, like I already know now. Damn,
it's like you know this secret he didn't tell you, but technically he told the world.
Right.
But you just met him.
that's what I.
I really didn't think about it like that, but it's true. It's like there's really when it comes. I mean,
And my
granted,
ex, he used to stalk my Twitter. So like,
Ooh.
he would try to like, he would be like, oh, he'd be like, I'd bring up like something like, I don't know, it's bright, it's nice today. And then later on, he'd be like, oh, how you feel about the weather? Like he didn't watch my tweet. So that's another part of the dating app that I feel like is a problem. It's just like you know too much too soon. And you don't really get to know the person for who they are if you would have met them in person. And then you can't see them again until you meet them on a date again. That's how it used to be back in the days.
Right.
That's why the guys used to be feeling like, let me
Mhm.
get her number. Let me write it down.
write it down. I never get when a dude went and got a paper bag to get my number and write it on back
Or a
before we had
napkin.
phones.
Because I might never see
Yeah.
her again.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what happened to that?
And then I do, you know what? And I think Chris Rock had a funny joke. Like, I don't know what it's 2 stand-ups ago, 2, 3, when he said, back in the day, your dad used to leave for work and your mom just had to hope he went there.
And-
Like,
and
good luck.
right.
Like, good luck. Like, did he make it?
yeah, like,
I don't
we
know.
can't even- that's what I'm saying.
Because there was no, he said, now I see what you have for breakfast. I see what you have for lunch. I see the stories you post up. You're sending me videos. You're texting me. You're calling. And then you have the nerve to ask, did you miss me? I've been talking
Right.
to you all day.
That's what
I've
I'm
been
saying.
talking to you all damn
Yeah.
day.
And I obviously grew up in the era of social media, but I'm exhausted.
Oh, yeah, because you're younger than me.
Yeah, but
right?
we same era.
Because you
though.
said you grew up,
Yeah,
We're all
we did.
millennials.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Because you
Yeah.
said you grew up in an era with social media.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The
Like,
rise of it.
the AOLs and like
Yes,
I grew up
names.
in that. But I think because I grew up in it, it's kind of like, I'm tired of it
Yeah,
now.
I'm tired too. Instagram, Facebook, all the social media. Please charge $21.99 a month to keep your social medias active.
Oh, I would be off that in a minute.
Oh, I'm not
Right.
paying that.
It would be off.
But you know how many people
I think that would be good because we need that human connection. Like,
You saying we need a limit?
we need a limit. Like,
I think there needs to be. You know what?
That's why I'm not mad at the government banning
TikTok or whatever.
I'm not mad at that. It's effed up, but I'm
It's
not
getting
mad
to a
at
place.
I'm not mad at that because
ban all of them.
I'm not mad at that.
We are not getting monetized at all with all that. But but I think there was a time, I forgot, didn't Instagram get hacked and it was down for like a few minutes?
Yeah, it was a day, a whole day.
It was dead. And people was like, we should do this once a year.
Right.
Like just close
That's
it
a
off.
great
I had to
idea.
actually,
Once
That's a
like
great
just
idea.
sit. No social media for like a day.
That's genius.
I
Once a
remember
year
that, yeah.
or something.
It felt good.
It really did feel
Like, because you checking Instagram down. Like,
Yeah,
it felt good.
But we did kind of keep checking though, because it's a habit to do this and be like, oh, it's still not up.
That lets you know how addicted we are to
We
that.
we are. But I kind of like the your idea, which is what you said. You put a time limit, 3 hours a day for you.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
I think
a
I'm
good
gonna
thing.
start doing that.
Me
I'm
too.
gonna start slow because unfortunately
It's like, it
we
is-
are all trying to make it out here.
Right.
So we need it.
Branding.
We're trying. So that means that requires a lot of hours and a lot of screen time. But it can get to a place where it's a slippery slope and you can't get off of it.
Automate those 3 hours and then bye-bye for the day.
Whatever got done, got done. Whatever
Tomorrow.
business deal. But yeah, I do think the thing that could bring this all back to the original point is I think we do need to branch out with human connection. We have to express we want that.
Mhm.
Once again, we got to start speaking about our feelings. And that's the one push I'm working on. Like, I'm just going to say when I like you. I'm going to say the gushy stuff. I'm going to say I want human connection right now. I miss you. I'm going to do all of that stuff. Because I just feel like we're missing that point of, even with dating apps, because I mean, I am seeing someone on one, so it did work. We have other things that we bonded over. I didn't know everything, but I just think it takes a lot of communication to be open too. You have to do that work. You have to be open. You have to say the words, I like you. I miss you. When can we go out? All of that stuff. You have to say things to bring a smile on your face to make it work. Bring the connection back, even though you kind of lost the first initial.
Right.
Yeah, like I want somebody outside my window with a poem and a boombox.
I want the old school too.
That's a Cinderella story.
I want that. I want flowers.
that.
Romeo and Juliet.
I want all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. All right, so we're gonna go to our advice segment here. All right. This is a personal one. This is a tough one too. There's a teenage girl in my family who has been dealt a bad hand. Dysfunctional family, blamed for being sexually abused, and anything else you can think of, and oftentimes has thoughts of killing herself.
Mhm.
What advice can I give to help her see the value in her life? So I'm just gonna start first here. I know someone personally who this happened to. And first, I just want to say you're special. I'm talking to our,
Anonymous.
anonymous. She's special. I'm sorry. Sometimes in this world, things happen and we can't explain them. We just don't know why. But for anyone going through this, you're special. You deserve to be here. Don't let anybody take your light from you. Because if you do, you're letting them win. Family, sometimes family, it's not family. But, don't let situations that happen at home hold you back from being a beautiful flower that you're supposed to be. Now, I know it's difficult for people going through the situation. They have, their families not believing in them, especially in their own home. So it's hard. It's hard on that person. They go through life and they're like, why do I deserve this? I'm not worth it.
Yeah.
And personally, the person that I know that this happened to, I know that this has affected her. This happened in her childhood, and it reached over into her adult life. So it got to the point where she feels like, I'll say a lot of people, they feel like they don't deserve a good man.
Mm.
Like once you get abused at home, you get like used to that. So when you meet like a good man or a good woman and they treating you good, and like from somebody who's been abused, they're like, this can't be, this is
It's
not real.
foreign.
Ooh, I got a good show for that. If you watch Unprisoned.
Prison, it's
Yeah,
like that.
it's exactly like that. Mhm.
So it's like,
I heard good
why
things.
the person I know, she's we used to date, and it didn't work out. One, because I was cool with her parents, and like sometimes like females, they don't want that, like, oh, that my parents like them. No, I want something that's me, like
Because they only register like the toxic, the high, the roller coaster, the thrill, like the thrill of the up and the down and the mess and the arguing and stuff like that.
Don't be afraid. If you don't have nobody in your corner to talk to, talk to a teacher. Let them know what's going on, or trust a friend. Don't be scared to reach out for help, because you got a lot of young kids that they're scared. They don't know what to do.
No, there's a lot of emotions, especially like we don't know how old this person is, but there's a lot of emotions that sometimes come too quick to kids and they don't even know how to process what that feels like, or put a name to it. Once again, I'm a huge advocate for therapy at any age, and it's now becoming more and more cost effective. I know I found a good therapist on, what is it, headaway.com, Headco, something like that. And you put your insurance in, and then it tells you how much you would pay out of pocket. And it could vary. I only pay like $40. So that's cheap.
Good. That's
good.
good.
Cheap for my insurance. I pay like $40. And I see my therapist once a week. And I'm a grown woman. But you have to, like for children, I know me, if I was to have a child, I'm not saying I'm going to put them in the therapy session every week, but maybe once a month. I just want them to check in like an oil change, so that they could just get used to talking to somebody outside of family.
Right.
Sometimes that this is your own personal diary. So I think sometimes we could like look at it like that, normalize the conversation around it, so that this way a kid, it doesn't feel foreign when you're an adult, is to talk to somebody. And also that concept about family. You can make your own damn family.
Right.
You don't have to have your family be your family. Just because your family, if you feel like it is a mess, it is toxic. One of my favorite shows I love to watch is RuPaul's Drag Race. And I relate it because, a lot of them have their chosen family. When their families didn't accept them being gay or accept them in drag, they would build these families, and it just became such a support for them every single time. So it's like, that's not just designated for LGBT. You could do that. If you feel your family isn't working out, you feel like nobody's feeling you, you could teach your kids how to get better, maintain good friendships, if they could recognize the toxic behavior, and they could build a sisterhood. I mean, I have great friends. I like to always say that the thing that I love most is I fortunately I do come from a good family, but I also have great friends, that I could talk to, that I think, but it's sad when you see people grow up and they never knew how to build friendship because it was never instilled in them to be vulnerable, to share, to put themselves out there, to go to new events. Sometimes you have to I don't know how old the child is, but sometimes you might have to, if you're concerned, take them out, put them around new environments where they can meet new families and see that there's a difference in what they're going through. Because sometimes some people just stay in that trauma and they don't know that there is there's a Cosby family around the corner. But y'all know what I mean. There's a Cosby family around the corner that is perfect and they have Sunday dinner. But you could expose them to that friend that could probably invite them over for Sunday dinner.
Right.
Those type of things can help. It's just, and not feeling obligated. I don't like that sometimes people feel like they're obligated to be in toxic situations because we share the same DNA. I'm not obligated to be part of anything that's not conducive to me and my personal development or things like of that nature. And I think I like that now the phrasing around kids, let's just say, auntie comes in and say, give me a hug. And the kid be like, no, not right now. And then the parents be like, no, go hug him. That's your aunt.
Right.
That's not teaching that child to respect their body. If they don't want to hug that aunt, they don't have to today. you know? And I think that language that I'm now hearing with new parents, I think that should be the language, hopefully, that they could learn how to, voice what is their thing that they can control. Their locus of control is her body. She could maybe control her environment, maybe not like find some sort of quiet space, things like that to help. I don't know.
Now, being in a school system,
Yeah.
have you come across any situations like this? Like you heard of a child being abused at home?
All the time. And and honestly, that's what's really the most taxing part when you are in education is you wear all of those. You could have a kid over here who comes from a perfect family, a kid over here who didn't eat in 3 days, a kid over here wearing hand-me-downs from a shelter, a kid over here. So imagine having all of these different kids in your environment, and as a teacher, you're just taking all of that on. Emotionally, you just go home and you feel like you have to wash the day off sometimes. So that's why I will always advise the parents is making sure, like you said, talk to a teacher. Teachers are Band-Aid reporters. They got a call. So maybe that could help, In therapy, there's counselors in school. Sometimes parents could write in a letter saying that they want their kid to have counseling. Those type of things can help. And then also, once again, building friendships. I don't know why parents stop doing play dates, but if you see that good kid in school, maybe you might want your child to be like them.
To have that
Get
good
a
influence.
play date going,
Mhm.
and maybe they could take that kid on a trip with their bestie or something and expose them to different life. So I don't know. I think sometimes a lot of the times, a lot of the solution to being in certain environments is branching out and finding newer paths to have hope that you could escape it because you've seen that it exists.
Right.
You've seen a Black doctor. You've seen people happy. So you know it exists. You just need to leave this environment and then go build your own family. Because unfortunately, kids are stuck in that environment until they're 18? Go away to college. Just leave. Take out the loan, go to campus, and then reinvent yourself. I think that helps a lot sometimes.
Yeah. So that goes back to like my comment earlier about the broken people,
Mm-hmm.
because you have some people who go through this and they never are able to get help, and they don't know how to get help.
Mm-hmm.
So then they get in relationships down the line, and those past childhood traumas are now
coming out.
And it's interfering with the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
because it was never dealt with.
It was never dealt with.
And that's the thing. And that's why when you mentioned that broken person, no, I can't deal with a person who's not dealing with their own trauma, because then all you're going to do is project it onto me. And you don't want to be that person, So if you feel like you have anything that you're not dealing with, the best path will always be, for me, is therapy. I think that they are trained professionals. They're able to talk. They have heard it all. They're not going to judge you. They're trained a different way not to. So if you need any space, pay for it, budget for it. You could not maybe do coffee for a few, pay a little $50 to talk to somebody at least once a month, and see what they could help you with in their path and growth.
Right. That's just one more thing we need in this country is affordable
healthcare.
Healthcare.
Oh my God.
And affordable, therapy, because like a lot of therapists don't take insurance.
No.
It's not because they don't want to. It's because there's a lot of hoops and headaches they have to jump through to accept the insurance. So people don't have $200 to spend
on therapy
every month
on
therapy. So I think that's something, especially as a Black man and Black female, like that's something we need, because we go through a lot on a daily. We've been through it. Like a lot of people, a lot of cultures looking on the outside don't understand like what we go through, so they can't, like when we talk about our traumas, talk about like traumas from like abuse with police, or
just being black,
going to a store and being followed around
still
because they think we're going to steal something.
Yeah.
So
discrimination at work,
right?
So maybe your name sounds a little too Black, your resume got pushed aside.
That's right.
All that stuff.
So we deal with a lot. People don't believe it. Well, Black people, we deal with a lot. There's other races that deal with stuff too, but we in America, we deal with a lot.
And we have no home.
Right.
Like literally, we're a race that don't have we technically Africa, but it's so messed up over there with their government and laws that they can't even protect the people here. Like you heard a Chinese person here, all of China will rally around that Chinese person. But it's like, no, when it comes to Black people, we also just don't have really an origin. Like
Right.
some
And
of
then,
us, some of us American Blacks.
American Blacks,
American Blacks
I would
laws.
say we have a home. This is our home.
This right.
It don't feel like it. Why do I feel?
This is
our
our
home.
home.
It is. Technically, it is
our
a
home.
This is our home. But
It is our home.
Africa is what 500 years removed from there. This is
Yeah.
our home.
It is.
This is as much as our home as any
Anybody.
white person. Or
But then why
person.
sometimes we don't feel like it? That's the thing.
Because
that
we're not treated like that.
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
I mean, you know, like that's a whole nother.
That's a whole
That's a
nother
whole
topic.
nother-
But this
But
is our
yes.
home. But yeah, this is.
Do
our
you
home.
have any advice for
Yes.
I second what both of you said. I would say some people a lot of people need to get beat up. I'll start with that. So whoever is abusing you, like, I don't know. I'm just thinking old school. Slip their name to somebody, slip it to me so we can find somebody to beat that person up. Start with that. Because some people just need to get dragged for the atrocities
Things that they do to people
that they inflict on children. It's just yeah. So I'll start with that. But also I second what both of you say, and I'll just add that, like, I feel like as adults we have to do a better job at mentoring teenagers and children, even if you're not related to them, even if you're not if you don't know them, because sometimes that helps too. I had a mentor when I was in 8th grade, and my mentor, I met her through a after school program, and she really helped me like just think about. I had multiple. I had like 3 of them, and those are like my best friends now, and they're all 35, 36. They're older than me, but she taught me a lot about how to deal with trauma, how to deal with my emotions and things of that sort. And I think every child needs that. And so I would just second what both of you say and just add that, you know, getting an outlet, it may not be a therapist. It could just be like an older person that you want to be like, and speaking to that person and just letting those thoughts out, writing it down. And then also getting that person beat up. I think that will help a little bit.
She gonna sprinkle that in there.
Sometimes it's a parent.
Yeah, getting that person beat up.
She's like, look, anybody could catch these hands.
No, I'm saying like,
That's what she said.
sometimes it could be a father. Like,
yeah, getting that person beat up. I'm serious. But I mean, I second what both of you say.
Right.
I don't want to add any. I don't want to repeat what y'all said, because what y'all said was beautiful. But
she's like, sometimes some people need to catch these hands.
Sometimes people got to be beat up because. I mean, I just feel like people don't. I think children have agency, and sometimes children can't. I don't know. I want to end it with that. Like I feel like that person needs a lot of therapy, like you mentioned, needs mentorship, and needs to feel like they are special, is what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're all special
You're
in
all
some
special.
way.
Yeah.
And not trying to say like it's an Oprah show, but
Yeah,
everybody has something that makes them unique.
Neat.
And then once you find that talent or whatever it is that's inside of you, you're just going to maximize. Like if you're in the right space to be watered, that talent will grow.
Yeah. And then I'll also add, just because it's on the top of my brain, you know, what you've gone through as a person, it doesn't have to be who you are.
No,
Right.
I'll
exactly.
add that too. Like, you know, a lot of people experience abuse and they're like, damn, I'm an abused person. No, that's just what you've been through. It's not who you are. So just remember that. That would be my advice.
Yeah, don't let it become your identity maker. Like, oh, hi, you know, you just wearing the trauma on your sleeve. If you go through something traumatic, you work through it, and then you make it a part of your story. But it doesn't have to be you as a person. It's just, this was what happened to me. I grew from it, and you're presenting yourself as a person who is healing. You know, maybe you're not healed, but you're healing and you're actively working on it, you know?
Right.
And not to feel ashamed. Because honestly, what this person is going through, millions have been there. Like millions have been there.
And they're going
so
through
this
right
is
now.
not something, and we need to really remove shame for things that are traumatic, like trauma put on you. You know, you as a child had something done. And I mean, I'm talking, I don't know what that feels like. Like I said, I came from a good family, but you didn't have no owner. You didn't have no voice. You know, it was something that was done to you. You know, you don't have to feel like you're ashamed of it, because that was out of your control. And you could remove the shame, because millions of others. There are groups you could join. There are people who have been in these type of situations that you could speak, and you could see people been through it. You know, so it's not something you have to wear a scarlet letter
Right.
on you.
And that's one benefit to social media. Like there are
groups. Yes, there are groups.
And it's easier to find.
That is a benefit. You could find people.
That's true, because when I got my heart broken by a Libra, I found a Facebook Libra group.
That hate.
Yeah, and then we were just talking about like
where's
Libras.
this group?
On Facebook.
A Libra played me too.
That's one good benefit of
a Libra
social
played
media.
me too. I would love that group. But yeah, definitely that is a benefit. Social media is good. So maybe we could get monetized. Social media is good for groups and finding your tribe and finding people that went through what you've been through.
Right.
So that you could be in a community and you could share those stories and you could see other people that made it out.
Right.
And then maybe you could find your mentor in that group. Because just like an AA meeting, there's plenty of people who have a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find a sponsor to get you through.
Yeah. I commend that person for sending in that question. However, because that person wants help. You know, they want to do something for, you know, their family member.
Yeah.
But we also have those family members who know that there's something going on in that house. You know,
you're not speaking on
in the
it.
house and don't speak on it. So what do we?
People got to speak up.
How do we? Yes.
And honestly, we need to bring back the village. I hate that. I can't stand how things are and I don't want to go on a tangent, but I don't know. I grew up in a family. My aunt could punish me just like my mom could punish me.
Mm-hmm.
And just like if whoever was watching me, you had autonomy to do, not saying you putting your hands on me, but you had autonomy to check me. If you see me cursing on the block and you know my mom wouldn't be with that, you was going to reprimand me and then you was going to tell my mom what you did and my mom was going to agree with you. These days, it's like people don't feel like you could do that. And if you're in a family, especially if you're related and you're seeing this happen, you are equally responsible for the destruction of this child if you're not speaking on it. Yeah. Somebody should be challenging these parents. Somebody should be saying something and speaking up and rising to the occasion or taking that kid if they see something is wrong. We need to bring the village back. Bring back the village. People cannot raise kids by themselves. Everybody could bring something to the table for a child.
Right.
And I will firmly believe, even if my friends don't have kids, if I have a kid and I feel like you have knowledge of something, share it with my kid, you know, bring back the village. Village protects kids. When you're in isolation, it does not protect a child. Right. When you're not receiving any information or you're not trying to take any advice from a big mama or any of that stuff, then all you're doing is stunting that kid's growth. You don't know everything as a parent. You don't. Other people have other advice and it might could help you. Take the help.
Right.
You know? So I think that could help. So
I think we're kind of done with this topic, right?
Yeah.
So we wish you the best, and we hope, you know, just try your best to let that family member know that they're special, you know. So.
And if anybody has any other questions to send us, we'll be happy to give more advice on it as well.
Right. And also you can put some advice if you have some advice for that person who wrote in, you know, for that family member, please leave them in the comments.
Yes.
All right.
And that is it for Mama's Cooking Podcast. I'm Kenya.
I'm Kay Lofton.
And I'm Qadirah.
Until next time, peace.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Leave a comment.
Mama's cooking brings back some